Meghan Markle's name is causing a stir once more. Surprise, surprise. But this time, it's not about any royal disputes or high-profile outings. The situation is spiraling downward fast. It all kicked off with one Instagram video, which Meghan must have assumed would be her triumphant power move. Instead, it blew up like a PR disaster, and the fallout has been extensive. Studios are retreating. Fans are withdrawing their support. Even Netflix executives are reportedly scrambling. Whatever remained of Meghan's career is now precarious. So, what went down in that video to trigger such chaos in Hollywood? Let's backtrack. The trouble sparked from a single Instagram post. Meghan promoted it as a lighthearted, empowering, relatable mom moment designed to show she still had a sense of humor, something worth saying, and a brand worth attention. Yet, as soon as it appeared on viewers' screens, it just felt off. The mood wasn't light. It was trying too hard. Clumsy dance moves, forced grins, and what seemed suspiciously like a baby bump, making viewers do double takes.
Yeah, I'm pregnant, but I got an ill flow. Trying to make some money, buy some huggies from the stove. S to the T-A, double R-K, to the E-I-S-H-A. And I don't play, doing my way. Prego, but I'm still doing moves like Beyonce. Yeah, I said I'm pregnant, give the child support.
Rather than endearing people, it made them stare at their screens asking, what exactly did I just see? The backlash wasn't only from internet critics. This time, it hit from within the industry. At Netflix, where Meghan hosts her With Love, Meghan docuseries, alarm bells rang. CEO Greg Peters was reportedly livid, and even Ted Sarandos, a staunch supporter, began reconsidering his loyalty. Meanwhile, Paramount took swift action by severing ties quietly. Other studios began to dodge her, distancing themselves before the drama could taint their endeavors. This was a wake-up call for Hollywood. Whatever allure Meghan possessed initially had faded. Instead of reviving it, the video exacerbated it. At this point, Meghan could have laid low to let things settle and possibly regain some goodwill. But that's not her approach. Instead, she issued a statement arguing the video was meant to prove herself to her critics. Her intention was to demonstrate that motherhood hadn't dulled her humor or personality, and that she still had a voice worth hearing. It sounds commendable on paper, right? Except, the internet remained skeptical. What the public perceived wasn't an inspiring message from a relatable mom. It was a wealthy celebrity in a gated environment trying far too hard to appear quirky and approachable. The execution seemed self-serving. The tone? Completely out of touch with the daily experiences of regular parents. And here's the kicker. Her loyal fans began to waver. Those who previously defended her on social media fell silent, or worse, puzzled. That's bad news for With Love, Meghan Season 2, which was already in hot water. Test screenings were harsh. Feedback ranged from meh to utterly unwatchable. Insiders at Netflix mentioned even her core audience is indifferent this time, an alarming scenario for any streaming service. Behind the curtain, the situation quickly deteriorated. Netflix, the last significant platform connected to Meghan, was suddenly divided. Greg Peters reportedly pushed to cut their losses entirely. Ted Sarandos, typically more lenient, still stood by her, but even he felt the pressure from the board. Outside Netflix, it was graver. Paramount had already cut ties decisively. Other studios not only declined new ventures but began ignoring her calls completely. Executives who once eagerly met with her team now found themselves abruptly unavailable, creating a gap before the drama could stick to them. Allegedly, Meghan has been launching pitches to MTV, Disney, even lifestyle networks, seeking her next breakthrough. But in the current climate, she's shifted from being a buzzworthy name to a professional gamble. It's not just insiders distancing themselves, her fans are too. Avid supporters who previously shared her every announcement have started deleting past content. Her social media? More criticism than applause. Where comments once featured endless heart emojis and Yas Queen, they now accuse her of being fake, preachy, and utterly disconnected. When both business circles and fan bases begin ghosting you, it isn't a controversy, it's a collapse in slow motion. And then came the part of the video that sent the internet into a frenzy, the baby bump. Initially, viewers were mostly reacting to the awkwardness of the video, but within hours, keen observers were zooming in, pausing, replaying, and capturing frame by frame. What they believed they saw only fueled the fire. The shape seemed to shift, the placement appeared inconsistent, and at moments, it didn't behave like a natural bump at all. Social media erupted. TikTok had entire accounts dissecting Bumpgate. Viral Twitter threads compared stills from different points in the video, noting how it appeared larger in one, flatter in another, and either oddly high or low based on the angle. Instagram gossip accounts compared past public appearances, prompting comments such as, "Why is it never the same?" Let's be clear, some of this was harmless speculation. the kind typical of internet overanalysis whenever celebrity footage emerges. But others veered into conspiracy theories. These speculated everything from wardrobe mishaps to intentional staging. And while most of these theories are impossible to confirm, simply trending lent them credibility with casual viewers. That's the peril for someone like Meghan. When public trust already wavers, it doesn't take evidence for damage. Just some believable screenshots and a story people are eager to buy into. And this wasn't limited to gossip sites or fan pages. Mainstream commentary shows began to mention it. Podcasts jokingly referenced the ever-changing bump. Even late-night hosts tossed in their digs. Instead of focusing on Meghan's intended message about motherhood, discourse shifted to dissecting her appearance, overshadowing all she tried to say. Whether you believe the theories or not, the optics were terrible, because often in PR, perception outweighs fact. By week's end, Baby Bump wasn't merely an aside to the backlash. It evolved into its own saga, heightening the original controversy Meghan couldn't seem to shake. By this point, most in Meghan's shoes would have gone quiet, regrouped, and waited for the storm to subside. But not Meghan. Rather than stepping back, she attempted to seize the storyline. At least, that's what she envisioned. She recorded what was essentially a solo podcast episode. No interviewer, no challenging inquiries, just Meghan speaking for nearly an hour. If the objective was to appear relatable, it failed spectacularly. In classic Meghan fashion, she didn't just narrate her side, she began referencing herself in third person. "The world has yet to witness the real Meghan," she announced, as if she were a character in a prestige drama awaiting her mid-season reveal. She positioned the Instagram video debacle as a misunderstood public service act, intended to uplift parents, reminding them motherhood needn't strip away humor, personality, or fun. In her view, she was delivering a hopeful message to a weary, joyless world. The issue? That message came from someone whose life starkly contrasts with the people she sought to reach. Everyday parents don't enjoy full-time caregivers, PR teams, or the liberty to shoot whimsical videos in lavish estates. Instead of feeling encouraged, many sensed alienation, like they were being lectured by someone existing in an entirely different reality. This is where the narcissism label exploded. Pundits suggested Meghan wasn't merely tone-deaf, she couldn't read the room. Podcasts dissected her monologue. Clips where she talked about teaching others proper childcare went viral, as if advice from someone in her shoes would ever be relatable. Even some past supporters admitted it was an ill-seen choice. One entertainment writer bluntly summed it up: "She's not engaging her audience, she's lecturing from a pedestal." What Meghan regarded as confidence struck much of the public as hubris. Every moment she spent reinforcing her stance further alienated those potentially open to forgiving her. By week's end, the damage spanned beyond one awkward Instagram post. It morphed into a perception that Meghan Markle doesn't acknowledge faults, at least none she recognized. In PR, when you can't admit even minor missteps, the audience eventually stops granting you chances to explain. While Meghan defended herself on the public stage, the real struggle unfolded privately at Netflix. And the stakes extended beyond PR. The question emerged as to whether the platform, which had once been her staunchest ally, would continue to stand by her. In the loop. On one hand, there is Greg Peters, the CEO of Netflix. Insiders reveal that during private meetings, he's been straightforward. Meghan's video sparked such a backlash that she's now seen as a liability, and the outlook for the second season of With Love, Meghan isn't promising. Test audiences have described it as uninspired, egotistical, and out of touch. Hardly the kind of feedback that warrants another massive investment. On the flip side, there's Ted Sarandos, the co-CEO known for being more lenient with Meghan's projects in the past. Although no one fully understands why, he supported her longer than anyone anticipated. Yet even Ted, according to sources, is starting to feel the strain. The board wants tangible results, not ongoing controversies, and their patience is waning. In the meantime, Meghan isn't just passively awaiting their decision. She's reportedly lobbying Ted to approve a third season even before the second one premieres. That's quite the gamble, especially when her current season is under scrutiny. Some speculate that she's trying to exploit personal ties with Ted, although no one will officially comment on what that entails. Greg Peters, however, has had enough of the political games. Leaks suggest he's urging Netflix's decision-makers to cut their losses entirely, saying it's riskier to keep Meghan's show running than to end it. His argument? Even her most devoted fans are fading, and Netflix doesn't want to waste resources. Outside the boardroom, things are looking worse. Late-night comedians have begun to make Meghan the butt of their jokes. Media outlets that once supported her are now avoiding her. For Netflix, the dilemma is clear. Retain a polarizing figure that's entangling their brand in negative headlines, or discreetly part ways and move forward. It might boil down to one factor: how season 2 of With Love, Meghan performs upon release. If the results are poor, and predictions indicate they will be, this internal struggle may not last much longer. Should Greg Peters succeed, Meghan's time with Netflix might quietly and decisively conclude. So, here we are. Meghan Markle's bold Instagram video has spiraled into an extraordinary PR disaster. What was meant to be whimsical and inspiring morphed into a lesson in knowing your audience and recognizing when to hold back. Studios are distancing themselves. Netflix is torn. Her fan base is diminishing faster than anyone saw coming. And rather than damage control, Meghan seems to be doubling down on the very behavior that led her here. Perhaps she still believes that the situation will turn around, that this will eventually be seen as a misunderstood misstep before a grand comeback. But from the current vantage point, it doesn't seem like a narrative of redemption. It feels like a slow retreat. One awkward video, one resistant remark, one intense boardroom discussion at a time. And if season 2 of With Love, Meghan fails, there might not be a third season or any comeback chapter. Because in the entertainment world, you might survive poor reviews or even a scandal. But once the audience loses interest, that's when it's all over. What do you think? Is this just another celebrity hurdle Meghan can overcome? Or are we witnessing the decline of her relevance as it happens? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. For more exclusive insights into the biggest celebrity moments, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're always in the know. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and stay